4th and goal to go to 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
All right, so this one, I totally disagree with what Kafka did. I totally disagree. I don't even care if they scored a touchdown. I don't care if they scored a touchdown. They got the 2 point. I still. It's 4th down and 6. Right, you really, you can't really. You're not going to be able to run the ball, and you got to pay. And against the third best passing defense with the Lions, and not Kafka. Winston was only completing like 50% of his passes. Now there's a let's see. I gotta move my legs. My dog's underneath me. Where are we at here? I gotta show this here somewhere. Okay, let me show you here. Up. Let me share my screen here. Okay. Now it shows you here. All right, the Giants kicked the field goal percent. Kick the field goal, the winning percentage. Up by 3, 4th down and 6 yards from the opponent's end zone. If they kick the field goal, they have a winning percentage of 73%. They go up by 6 points. The percent of the succeeding is 99%. I mean, you're kicking the 23-yard field goal, maybe a 24-yard field goal if they bring it back 8 yards. So 20, that's a chip shot. 99% of the time, Young Hoku's going to make that kick. Right, so winning percent if they failed, winning percent if they succeed. So if they failed, I guess, on the field goal attempt, they'd still have a 52% chance of winning. And 74% they succeed. Now the same here, go for it. Winning percent, I guess 67%. I don't know. Success percentage, 27%. I guess percent of it. So, here the timeout. The offense is 3, defense is 1. Quarter 4, 2 minutes and 59 seconds to go. But hold on, I got to move my legs. Oh, man, God. So, yeah, I really totally disagree with what he did. I said I don't care if they scored a touchdown. He got a 2-point conversion when we went up 85 points. You're at the 6-yard line. Get some points. Go up by 6. Now, of course, do I have a ton of confidence that our defense can hold the Lions from scoring? No, of course not. But it didn't matter. I mean, they gave up the game, the first play of overtime, right? But what wound up happening was, the defense forced them to kick almost a 60-yard field goal to tie the game. They were trying to win it. It wasn't like, let's just get in the field goal range and we'll tie it up and we'll send it up. No, they're going down the field. They're trying to win the game. Let's win it now. Well, let's march down the field, score a touchdown, we'll win the game. Get out of here. I'm sure they don't. Well, let's tie it up and let's go into overtime and try our luck there. No, they're trying to win the game in overtime. They're marching down the field. The Giants defense stopped them. They kicked the field goal. Now, to be fair, right, if the Giants were up by 3 and it was 4th down and the if the Giants were up by 6, if they kicked the field goal, the Giants were up by 6 and it's 4th down, the Lions probably wouldn't have kicked the field goal there. They probably would have gone for it, especially with Campbell. He goes for stuff. So, hey, that That certainly does not mean the Giants would have stopped them on fourth down. But I have a hard time, with that. Even Malik Nabers, after the game, was kind of questioning the play call. Like, wide receiver Malik Nabers perplexed with the way it went down. Nabers, who was not with the Giants as he rehabs a torn ACL he suffered earlier this season, second-guessed some of the team's decisions in a since-deleted tweet. Sometimes I think they'd be making us lose on purpose, he wrote, because it's no way, bro, you throw the ball instead of running it to make them burn 2 timeouts. Then you don't kick the field goal. Then you have to go down and score. Football common sense. Am I missing something? Yeah. Now, let's see here. Where are we at here? Okay, let me go play by play. Now, where are we at here? Okay. So the Giants got down there. They got a 2-yard run. They got down to the 2-yard line. Then instead, what they could have done, right, is, they got a 2-yard run. Detroit, it looks like, I guess Detroit probably called the time. They called the timeout, number one. Then on second down, they threw a pass, which incomplete, which stopped the clock. So what Malik was talking about, why not run the ball? Make them maybe 2-yard, maybe you get in the end zone. You're at the 2-yard line. Just try to run the ball. Make them use their timeouts. The Lions had to use 2 timeouts instead of using 3 timeouts because we wound up losing 4 yards. Singletary tried to go around the left end. He lost 4 yards on the play. But Detroit used their second timeout. But if the Giants tried to run the ball 3 times, they can use all 3 of their timeouts and kick the field goal and go up by 6 points. That's what Malik was kind of questioning. Nabers was talking about a series of play calls and decisions late in regulation with the Giants up 27-24. Kafka called a running play for Tyrone Tracy that got the Giants down to the Lions' 2-yard line with 3:11 remaining. Quarterback Jameson Winston then threw an incomplete pass on second down to Theo Johnson, and the Giants lost 4 yards on a third down run. Kafka has preached aggressiveness since taking over and called 2 trick plays that resulted in touchdowns in Sunday's win, elected to go for the touchdown and a 2-score lead with a tick under 3 minutes remaining. The Lions forced an incomplete pass and took over from their own 6-yard line, needing only a field goal to send the game into overtime instead of having to score a touchdown. And, of course, Jake Bates eventually kicked the 59-yarder to even the score after the 4th down fail. So, and, of course, even Donald Trump, and, I agree with him. I don't like Donald Trump, but I got to agree with him. Trump blasts New York Giants for crazy decision during their loss to the Detroit Lions. Giants made a baffling decision when they tried to put the game away with a touchdown instead of taking the easy points. Take the points. Coaches, they can sometimes outthink themselves. Take the points. President Donald Trump was among those confused. The Giants, who recently fired head coach Brian Daboll, rolled in onto a 27-24 lead late in the 4th quarter over the Lions. Giants drove deep into the red zone as the clock ticked under 3 minutes as the Giants stared at 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. Rather than kick a field goal to go up 6 points and force the Lions to score a touchdown, the Giants tried to get a touchdown on their own to go up by 10 points. Things did not go as planned. Quarterback Jameson Winston threw an incomplete pass. The Lions managed to kick a field goal, and the Lions won, of course, the game in overtime. Reeling from the result, Trump took to the Truth Social and openly questioned interim head coach Mike Kafka's decision-making. Why did it? Why did the New York Football Giants not kick the field goal? Trump wondered. Who would have done such a thing? It was crazy. I got to watch the end of the game and thought, when they went for the touchdown instead of the 3, that's weird. Yep, I can't argue with him. I don't agree with Mr. Trump on anything else, but you're 6 yards away. I get the being aggressive. I get it. I get it. But I would rather go up by 6 points and make them have to score a touchdown, than just have it kick a field goal to tie it and send it in overtime. That was just made that to me that made no sense at all. And maybe 4th and goal to 1, okay, all right, maybe, or the 2 or something like that. Because 4th and goal at the 6-yard line, take the points, go up 30-24. I said, do I have any faith in the defense? Absolutely not. Of course not. Right, but I'd rather have the Lions have to score a touchdown because kick a field goal. They got what, to the 40-yard line. Just drive to the 40-yard line. I'm not saying kicking a 50-something yard. I'm not saying it's easy. But when it goes against the Giants, seems like everybody's kicking 60-yarders or whatever just to send the game into overtime or win the game against the Giants. Seems like it's nothing. I'm saying, but all you got to do is get down to the 40-yard line and basically you're in field goal range. You can kick a field goal to tie it up, send it in overtime. Let's have them go from, instead of reaching the 40, let's have them go all the way, score a touchdown. And I said it would have been nice too. I said the other thing was that and burn all 3 of their timeouts, right? So that way, if you're ever able to tackle one of them and keep them in balance, the clock is running. Is what it is. But then again, that's just the way the season's been going. Absolutely nothing's been going right for the New York Giants. Once again.